Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tom and today I'm going to talk about that. That is my Royal Enfield Interceptor. I have done a video on this channel about that bike before, but that was a sort of a 1 year in review, and it's now 2 years since I got the bike, so I just want to talk about some of the minor modifications that I've done to the bike, many of which have come from a company called TEC bike parts. I'm very aware that my head looks like oddly shaped in this video. So I apologise for that, but there's not much I can do about it. Right, so before I talk about the bike, I want to show you something really cool, which is some artwork that my partner got for me for Christmas, and I just thought it would be a really good opportunity to show it off because it actually features that very bike. So back in a second. So this is the amazing artwork that was purchased for me for Christmas by my partner, and she engaged with an artist called H. Russell. I believe he goes by the name Gemini online. I will put a link in the description to his website, but just look at this, it's fantastic. It's all done with pencil. Hopefully you can see that. There's a reflection on the glass on the frame, but it's all done with pencil, and this was created from an image of me on my Royal Enfield. Obviously there in the middle you can even see the Royal Enfield logo there on the tank. And it's just me on my Royal Enfield surrounded by things that I'm interested in and I'm a fan of. So you've got things like Cthulhu there at the top. I'm a fan of the work of H.P. Lovecraft. I'm not going to talk about his politics, but I like his art, his stories. You've got the aliens from the Aliens franchise up here, and you've got Ripley and Newt there from Aliens, again, with the Alien Queen. And then you've got the Doomslayer. I think she's told him that I was a fan of Doom, and so he interpreted that as the new version of Doom. I'm a fan of all versions of Doom, but I'm a particular fan of the original series created by John Romero, and I don't mind. This is great. I do like the 2016 Doom and Doom Eternal. So yeah, you've got the Doomslayer in there, you've got some imps down here, and yeah, but obviously the star of the show is me there on my Royal Enfield with the lovely orange tank, the Crush orange tank, and obviously the nice orange in the background as well. So yeah, I just wanted to show this because A, it's an amazing piece of artwork, but B, it also kind of immortalizes the bike and that image of me, which I will also cut in here so you can see the original. But I just thought it was an amazing gift. So thank you to my partner and also to Mr. Russell. Very cool, I'm sure you'll agree, but let's not dwell on that. Let's talk about the actual bike. There it is, and I'll show you some of the things I've done to it since I did my last update on this particular model. That's better. You don't have to see my face now and my oddly shaped head. You can look at the beauty of the Royal Enfield Interceptor. This is the real version, obviously not the one in the artwork. Anyway, so since my last video, which was my year in review, I have done some things to the bike, and I'm going to talk about those briefly in this video. The bike still runs perfectly. I've had no issues with it, and yeah, I ride it quite a lot, to be fair. And yeah, as you can see, it still looks fantastic. So probably the biggest thing I've done to this bike since I got it is I changed the downpipes. I got these big bore ones from TEC bike parts, and I'm not going to lie, they were an absolute pig to get on the bike just because they didn't seem to fit. Some of the fittings and the fixtures and all that kind of thing, they just didn't want to marry up to the bike. So I had to hammer some of them to get them into the right shape. Mainly down here under the foot peg, this bolt here, this bracket, it just wouldn't fit the bike. It wouldn't line up properly, so I had to hammer that into shape to get it on. And then on the other side, on this side, the Canon silencer, which is actually sort of designed to go with these downpipes, it just would not go on. It wouldn't go on here behind this sort of heat shield thing. So basically I had to kind of jerry rig it to get it to go on. There was lots of hammering, there was lots of swearing, and eventually it did go on, but it wasn't easy, so just bear that in mind. There's a guy on YouTube he's got a channel called Sunday Rides, and he does a lot of content about the Royal Enfield, and he had a similar issue trying to get the big bore exhaust from TEC onto the Canon silencers. Another thing that I've noticed since I've put these on the bike is that they are kind of discolouring here, and I don't know if this is bluing or what, but it's very apparent. And I didn't touch the downpipes with a bare hand. I've made that mistake in the past many times, where I've touched an exhaust pipe when I've been putting it on the bike, and then obviously your oil, the oil from your hands burns into the metal when you start using the bike. I purposely avoided that this time, but as you can see here, there is some discoloration. Is that bluing? Is that the start of bluing? I don't know. I'll show you the other side as well. This side looks a little bit more uniform, but I mean, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me in the slightest, but I just wonder if it's going to completely go that colour all the way around, or if it's just some kind of weird staining. So if anyone's watching this and you know more about this kind of thing than I do, please do leave a comment and let me know what that is. Another thing that I've done is, because I've put the big bore exhausts on, I did get the booster plug, which is essentially a little, it's almost like a temperature gauge that goes under this panel here, right by the air intake, and it kind of tricks the engine to running a little bit leaner with the big bore exhausts on. There is a video on this on YouTube by TEC Bike Parts that explains that in way more detail than I have just done. But I understand that it's a good thing to get, because you can essentially get engine management lights on the dash if you don't actually add those to the bike, or a fuel management system like a Fuel X or something like that, because the diameter of the downpipes changes the temperature of the exhaust gases coming out of the engine. So that will also impact the O2 sensors, and then you'll have issues with the engine running right, apparently. So I did go and get the booster plug from TEC Bike Parts. A couple of things that I've also done are this radiator guard here, which replaces the stock one, which is perfectly fine and does the job, but this one just adds a little bit more protection because it's got the side guard on it as well, and it's pretty solid. Stops any stones smashing up under there and ruining your oil cooler. So there's that as well. Things I've previously done include these black suspension arms, or struts, whatever you want to call them, which again are also from TEC Bike Parts. And I think that's pretty much it. I did take the snorkel off the air filter, which is obviously on the other side, and put in a K&N air filter, so it's got no snorkel on it now. So apparently that helps with the engine air intake as well. Have I noticed any performance increase with these new exhausts on? Negligible. In fact, it might even be a placebo effect. I don't think there is any performance increase. It does sound a lot better than it did with the stock exhaust on, but whether or not there's any performance increase, I do not know. What I will do though is I'll start the bike up so you can hear how much better it sounds with these big bore exhausts on, paired with the Canon silencers. So yeah, hopefully you can hear from that the bike does sound a lot better with those exhaust pipes on than the stock ones. A lot meatier and a lot sort of beefier. So yeah, again, no issues whatsoever with it so far. It's due its first MOT in a few months, so I'll probably get it serviced then as well. And yeah, again, the Royal Enfield Interceptor has been just absolutely a pleasure to own and a joy to ride. So yeah, it's been great. Just while I'm here and looking at the bike, I just wanted to mention these gloves. I have done a video on these. These are the Stout gloves from Royal Enfield. A couple of people have asked whether or not they are warm or I still use them. Yeah, I use them every day pretty much, and they're very warm, and especially coupled with the Daytona heated grips. They are more than adequate even in the depths of winter here in the UK, where it's very grey and very cold, and just not very pleasant at all, to be honest. Anyway, that's it really. That's what I've done to the bike. I've put the exhausts on, I've put the oil cooler cover on, got the new suspension on there, taken the air filter snorkel off and put one of those high performance K&N ones in, and also put the booster plug thingamajig under the seat connected to the electrical system. And yeah, she's running great. So yeah, like I say, if anyone knows anything about the colour discoloration on those downpipes, do drop a comment in the comment section. But for now, see you later.